hidden away on the outskirts of Perth. A 500-bed government facility that was eventually built to house COVID victims during the pandemic that had gripped the world. Brand new facilities with park and barbecue areas, plus lawn green enough to be the envy on any suburban street. So all of this cost taxpayers $400 million to build, and it sits today empty and idle. The federal government paid for the construction of it, handed the keys over to the state government last year. But for what purpose?
Western Australia will meet its obligations by commissioning the facility for 12 months.
Our cameras captured cars arriving frequently over the space of a couple of hours one weekday morning. Workers, contractors and security guards going about their daily routines.
I can't comment on anything.
On anything?
I'm not prepared to. Thank you so much.
Even if they weren't quite sure what they're actually doing here. Can you tell us, what is this site? Where are we? No idea.
No, I cannot comment. The Department of Health is running the place.
Meanwhile, there's still no purpose for this place that we know of, but it's costing taxpayers, you and I, more than $1 million a month to sit here vacant. Locally, the Department of Health is running the facility, but nobody was available to interview. Just this statement confirming that the state government has allocated $13 million for care and maintenance of the facility. The breakdown of costs is commercial in confidence. However, the current projected cost of operations is within the allocated budget. Federally, we asked the Department of Defence and the Department of Finance for comment. Again, nobody was available, but this statement was provided. The Commonwealth will continue to work with the WA government to make sure that the centre can be used when needed. Not that there's been any shortage of suggestions for who could move into these sprawling grounds, from housing new skilled migrants, a drug rehabilitation facility, even a refuge for the homeless. All met with little enthusiasm from the state government.
It was suggested that we make that a homeless facility. The issue is it probably would have created some sort of ghetto.
Add to that the Auditor General's report that questioned the almost $600 million spent on wasted rapid antigen tests. Combined with the federal government's $400 million outlay for the building, that's almost $1 billion with very little result. And what about the residents of Bullsbrook, who are still waiting on an election commitment to deliver clean ski water to their homes? They had a win, with the federal government agreeing to compensate them for contamination caused by the toxic chemical known as PFAS, found in firefighting foam that poisoned the soil and groundwater in parts of Bullsbrook.
Bullsbrook community has been one of the communities more severely affected by this PFAS contamination. A lot of properties out there have bore water which the residents rely on for drinking water, which has been contaminated by these PFAS chemicals.
So while they wait for clean water, this unused quarantine facility is trucking in scheme water to maintain the lawns, provide drinking water to employees, I guess, and flush their toilets. As well as paying Serco and its staff to basically look busy. Flashpoint understands that a deal has been done, that this facility will be handed back to the federal government in October and used by the Department of Defence.
Tim, this is outrageous. You know, we've got an empty facility up there that our taxpayers, our community, the community that are struggling today are paying for every day. We've got security guards and the like getting paid, cleaners. It's a nightmare.
We understand it's costing taxpayers over $1 million a month just to maintain an empty facility. Can you believe that?
No, not at all. $1 million a month.
More than
$1 million a month for a facility that has no one in there?
Correct.
What a joke. The way we see it here in Bullsbrook is there should be maybe a night watchman and a day watchman, and that's it. That doesn't cost $1 million a month. We're angry. You know, we're bathing our children in contaminated water. Our families are getting sicker and sicker from a bioaccumulative chemical in their blood. And the Defence Force and our government are trucking water into this facility. Last winter, they were trucking in up to 10 trucks per day, 14 tonnes per truck of water to water their gardens and flush their toilets. It's busy. It's a busy centre. Whether it's workers coming and going and gardening trucks, water trucks, I don't know what they're doing. I thought the building was over.
Colin, you've been waiting a long time now for your scheme water. We understand it's going to be further delayed now, that pipe coming from Ellenbrook, because they've got to connect what is an empty facility. That must make you white hot with rage.
That hurts, but you know, the government needs to water their trees and flush their toilets with better water than our children are bathing in, mate. A pipeline should be coming to our homes first and foremost, and then to a facility that's not being used.
It seems like your struggles are still far from over. Where does it end?
Until Defence clean their mess up, we'll keep fighting and we'll just keep pushing forward, Tim.